Nintendo NX rumors.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, since Eurogamer got a bunch of like very good sources, so they've been able to get some information about Nintendo NX. So apparently, it's gonna be a portable handheld console with detachable controllers. So a number of sources have confirmed to Eurogamer. So it's like, maybe it's like a screen. Maybe it looks like a Wii U, the tablet controller, but at the size you get to detach the controls. So I'm thinking they're gonna sell like different peripherals. Nintendo always sell their fucking peripherals.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what just happened right now?
What?
I went from being slightly excited about the NX to being not excited at all about the NX.
Yeah, so I'm not really I'll keep going. The list doesn't actually get better.
I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that this is just rumors.
Yeah. Hopefully it's just like maybe it's a no gimmick. It's a full on normal pro controller with a fucking disc tray thing. With actual proper...
It still sounds like a Wii U with extra stuff.
What?
That's what it sounds like.
The NX?
It sounds like the Wii U with extra things. Which is... Why? Just make a console. When did Nintendo stop making consoles?
I don't think the NX should be portable. What's going to happen to the 3DS?
Yeah.
It should be
They're going to kill their own handhelds.
They will probably say, if it is a portable thing, they'll probably say it will coexist alongside the 3DS. But they said that with the DS and the Game Boy Advance, and look what happened to the Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance got its ass kicked. They made a fucking
and now there's no more Game Boy Advance stuff.
Game Boy Advance.
There's just the DS and then the 3DS. Yeah. There's no more Game Boy Advance 2 or whatever. It's very... Yeah. How do you sell two different consoles and coexist at the same time? How do you even do that?
Well, there's one way. There is one way, but there's a problem with that way. So the way that has to work is that both consoles have to have
exclusives.
They basically have to have not just that. They have to have the same fundamental way that they work. So the consoles, the reason the Advance and the DS are different is because DS had two screens, a touch screen and a display screen, and the Advanced only had the one.
The thing is, if you look at the DS and the Game Boy Advance, the DS was clearly the successor to the Game Boy Advance. It was very clear.
Well, yeah.
How do you coexist with that?
The mechanics of the DS were completely different from the Advance. You had a touch screen on the DS.
So they were just literally talking out their asses when they say it was going to be coexisting.
Yes. Yeah. So the only way to coexist is to have two consoles that use the same basic fundamental mechanics. But if you do that, there's not really much point in having two consoles.
You know which ones you could actually say? You know what? The Nintendo 3DS and the Nintendo 2DS. Exact same thing.
It's just different. It's really just the same console though, those two. Just in a different form factor.
But they took out one factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
and it's cheaper.
The 3D makes your... Yeah, that's the thing. That was the whole thing.
The 2DS is literally a 3DS cheaper version.
Yeah, because the 3D wanted to make your head explode, so let's take that out.
I've heard
it cheaper.
And I've heard that it's more comfortable to use, actually.
The 2DS?
The 2DS is more comfortable to hold.
It looks comfortable.
So the only
problem is the design.
So let's not... They're the same console. I'm sorry, but 2DS, 3DS, same console. The way that two consoles, different consoles, live side by side, like Xbox and PS3, for example, right? They are living side by side, technically. They might be rivals, but whatever. They use the same basic fundamental mechanics. They have a controller that's shaped almost the same.
But that works because they're two different companies, and they have two different exclusives. So if I'm a developer, and I look at the 3DS and the NX, like, so which one I want to develop for again? I know it's gonna be different, but if I have the NX, why would I buy a 3DS?
I don't even think it's just the exclusives with Sony and Xbox anymore. I think the main reason people buy one over the other is loyalty.
Yeah, which is...
I don't think it's down to this. The exclusives have nothing to do with it. I have never heard anyone go, I'm getting this console because of this one specific game that's coming out. I've never heard anyone say that, ever.
Last time,
Ever.
yes, though.
No, I've never heard that.
I wouldn't say this generate, but if let's say I want to play Infamous, I can't buy a 360 and play Infamous.
I know, but I've never. Yeah, no, I agree, but I've never heard anyone. That might be the tipping scale, but I've never heard anyone go, I'm getting it just for that.
But
game.
exclusives will, like back then, if I wanted to play Final Fantasy, I needed to buy a PlayStation.
Sony. Yeah.
I think they matter less and less now, though. Is my
Oh
point.
yeah. I actually did a video. I actually looked at the numbers. It's way less exclusives now, and yet people complain.
Good.
It's very little now. Like less than 10 in this generation for each console. For now, anyways.
I hate exclusives. It makes
Yeah, it's
I'm not
stupid.
gonna buy a console to play one specific game. I'm not gonna do it.
But that's the thing. Last generation, it wasn't just one specific game. It was a fucking
Yeah, it was a
buttload
lot.
of games that was
No,
exclusive.
no, that's yeah, and that's the thing. But like, let's say this generation, you'd have to have over 10 games, that exclusive games that I really want to play for me to consider buying a new console.
And
The
this
thing is, there
generation
might have
has
been a lot of
very little of it.
And it's not even just that. The last generation, the PS3 had a load of exclusives, but not many of them were very good. Most of them were like shit.
Well,
So,
that's according to you, though. A lot of people enjoyed Infamous and
yeah, I
Resistance
mean the
and
general.
Ratchet and
Yeah,
Clank.
no, I agree. Those I like 2 out of 3 of those games. But the general consensus for most of the PS3s because exclusives was they were average at best.
What games are you even talking
Like-
about?
A lot of the low budget exclusives. Do you like a lot of the race? There was a
Low
couple of
budget?
racing games, like Forza was the early Forza was kind of shit.
I thought Forza was an
Um,
Xbox exclusive, wasn't it?
It is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's still an exclusive. That's my point. Like the Forza's good. I'm not saying that I wasn't referring that to low budget. By the way, it just popped into my head. So you had Forza, which was great, but I'm not going to buy a console for Forza. It's a racing game. I mean, maybe that's just
I can
me,
understand.
but-
I can understand if you have that mentality now because there's very little exclusives on each console. There's very
Yeah.
little exclusives.
No, but
And
I
with-
played
and-
when the PS3 was out.
And with the Xbox, a lot of their games will be coming out for the PC.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Even
I
less,
say that,
even less reason to buy an Xbox.
But I played in the PS3 era. I had a PS3, so I'm not completely talking about my arse. I didn't see any exclusives that I really, really, really liked.
Then what made you buy a PS3 instead of an Xbox 360?
Because I had money for a console, and I've always liked the PS controllers more than the Xbox controllers. When I was younger, I couldn't use Xbox controllers because they were too big. So
I still find it
when
too
I
big
ha-
now.
Well, yeah, but no. Now for me, Xbox perfect size. But back when I had a console and had the money to buy a console for like Christmas or whatever, I bought a PS because I liked the controller more. That's basically it. There's not a lot. There
I
wasn't
do
a lot in it.
feel the PS3 had better exclusives, I would say.
Maybe slightly, but with that noise right there, that's not definitive. That's my point. There wasn't that much headway on either. When someone has
But
to
I do think a lot of people buy certain consoles for the exclusives.
really? I've never
Yes.
talked to anyone who has a console who has bought it for exclusive. Never. Not one person.
It doesn't make sense if you don't buy it for exclusives. Seriously.
So most of the people I've talked to who buy consoles is brand exclusive. That's most of the reason. That
Which is dumb.
I know. Well, yeah.
Why do you
But
buy
it's no
something
less dumb
just
than
because
this-
it's a brand?
But it's no less dumb than exclusives existing. I mean,
No. Buying a console for exclusives means I get to play that game because I bought this console. Buying
I
a
agree.
console because it's Sony doesn't really help me in any way.
no, but I think the reason I say that is because it points to the fact that exclusives haven't been that good. That was the point I was trying to make. The reason I will talk English. The fact that not a lot of people have said to me that they buy it for the exclusives tells me that the exclusives aren't very good. Because if the exclusives were good, then they would buy.
I'm
the
just gonna
console
say
for the
it's probably
exclusives.
just your circle though. It's not definitive
No,
of anything though.
no, it's not just my close circle of friends. I mean, people I've played with online. People I've.
It
played
really
on
doesn't
League
make
of Legends
sense.
and all those.
Does it make sense to you?
It just tells me that the exclusives aren't very good. I defy you to tell me more than 10 games on the PS.
Then just buy a
PS3.
PC. Why buy a console?
Well,
That's
I
what I'm
agree.
doing now.
Yeah, I think I defy you to tell me 10 PS3 exclusives that were really good.
Are you talking just franchises or what?
No, just 3 PS3 games that were exclusive.
Is Ratchet and Clank considered one game?
Ooh, yeah.
There were 3 games.
Yeah, I'd say so. No, I'd say so. It's basically the same game.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But if I buy a PS3, I don't get to play just one Ratchet and Clank. I get to play 3. If I like the franchise, 3 is better than 1, right?
If they released 3 on release, then yeah, but that wouldn't be the case when buying a console. Most people buying a console would have one of those games available.
Well, not everybody bought it at launch.
No, but
I
most
didn't buy it at
people
launch.
did.
No, I don't think so. No.
The vast numbers of there was loads of people who bought consoles on the first day. Is my point. There was loads of people going out. And
I don't think it's a
consoles.
majority.
Not this
Maybe
generation.
not, but there's still a large chunk of people.
I know it's a large chunk of people. I'm just
You can't discard them.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's no other reason to buy a specific console if it's not for the exclusives.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
Because the only thing that I can see benefiting me as a player is to play the games that I want to play. Why would I want to support Sony just because they're Sony? It doesn't fucking make sense.
No, it kind of does.
It really doesn't.
In a way.
Why would
it doesn't make sense, but
why would brand loyalty help you as a player? It helps Sony with their money.
It's not, but that's my point. If you look at both consoles and say they look relatively similar to me, then go with the one that you're loyal to. In that position, it makes sense. That's my point.
Very different exclusives, though.
No, but what I'm saying is that if the exclusives don't interest you, which with the people I've talked to, very few have liked. Halo is probably one of the only games.
And this is why fanboyism is a problem. Why do you want to buy a console just because you want to support a brand?
No, that's not. You're not listening. That's not the point I'm trying to make.
No. You're saying if the consoles you're not interested in the exclusives, it looks very similar to you, and then you just gonna go for the brand, right?
Well, yeah. Then I don't see why wouldn't you go for the one that you're loyal to? Because then you're just picking out of thin air. If not, at least you've got something to go on. Then I like Sony
because
so
it doesn't benefit you as a consumer.
No, what? So what?
That's what I'm saying.
So what else? So yeah, if you got 2 consoles,
I'm saying you should make your
exclusives.
decision. Just have a checklist of things that benefit you.
I know, but if let's say you had 2 consoles,
a brand doesn't benefit you,
and you didn't like any of the exclusives, how are you going to choose then? How do you propose that people choose?
That's the thing. Let's say I buy consoles. I buy consoles because of the exclusives. That's why I cannot relate to what you're saying right now.
But what about a console gamer that doesn't like the exclusives?
And I'm saying that's dumb to buy just because of a brand. I'm just saying.
No, but you're still going to buy a console. So how do you, in that position, how do you choose?
I'm saying it's dumb.
So you just suggest they don't get a console?
No, I'm just saying you're dumb if you don't look at other things rather than just the brand.
Such as, if there's no exclusives, if you don't like the exclusives,
and even back then, the PSN was free. Xbox Live was paid.
There we go. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's the thing that benefits you. A brand doesn't benefit you.
I agree. No, I wasn't trying to say that all the people I've talked to are saying I am loyal to Sony. I will only buy Sony products. I'm saying that there wasn't.
You mean they don't have Sony cocks in their mouth all the time? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that they didn't have a lot to go on in terms of comparing. It was virtually
I'm gonna say that is way more relevant now when it comes to the PS4 and Xbox Live.
More, but I still
can't
think
see
it was
any difference
then.
between them. That's why I haven't bought them yet.
I think it was kind of like that with the PS3 and Xbox.
The PS3 has way more exclusives compared to the PS4. I'm not even saying like.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't.
I'm saying like at the same time frame. Like how long is the PS4 out for? 5 years? 4 years? At the same time frame. Wasn't it
4 years?
3 years?
3 years at max.
Maybe 2. Yeah, 3 years.
The PS3 at 3 years had way more exclusive than the PS4 now.
I agree, but I don't think
I actually looked at the numbers. They actually had.
I think that also has to do with support of the consoles. Like, let's be honest, the library of both those consoles put together probably can't even come close to the PS3's full.
PS3 had just really good third party support. That's all it was. I think that, but that's my point. That I can't remember any, apart from obviously a couple like Uncharted and
Uncharted is the one that I always forget for some reason.
Maybe Killzone. There wasn't a huge amount of exclusives on the PS3 that I can remember. That's how memorable a lot of those exclusives were. I can only think of one or two franchises on the PS that were exclusive to the PS: Ratchet and Clank and Uncharted, and maybe Killzone. I can't remember. Yeah, I think that was.
There's Resistance. There's Infamous.
Resistance wasn't exclusive, was it?
Yeah,
Yes, it's an exclusive. Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. I didn't even know.
I think Ni no Kuni was a. All I'm saying is, what we're saying here is not definitive of anything.
No, I just can't remember. I personally can't remember looking at any of the PS3 exclusives and going, "Wow, they look amazing."
I respect that, but to me, the PS3 had a fuck ton of exclusive. That's why I bought it.
Oh no, I'm saying it had a lot. I'm not saying it didn't have a lot. I'm saying it just none of them.
Gran Turismo. There was a Gran Turismo for the PS3, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there was.
It came at the end of its life.
Which a lot of people love. It's up to them if they like racing games.
But for me, I'd just play a racing game if I want. Maybe that's absolutely just me. But I would never buy a game just for Gran Turismo personally, and I've never met anyone who would.
I think what you're saying is very personal, and what I'm saying is very personal.
Yeah. So
but I'm just going on the experience of the vast amount of people I've talked to who have played on consoles. I've talked to a lot of console gamers in my lifetime, and I've never got... Halo is the only game, really, that people have had some kind of loyalty to, and that's because they're all fanboy knuckle fucks. But that's really the only...
Never really liked Halo.
I hated Halo. Uncharted never really had a massive, dedicated fan base. It had people that liked Uncharted, but there's no rabid Uncharted fans like Halo.
Huh? What? Are you talking about those people who sent death threats because Uncharted 4 was reviewed at a 9 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10? Those are not rabid fanboys? Was there a lot of those?
Was there a lot of them? I'm saying that the scale of...
There was a fucking... what do you call that? Like a survey. No, not a survey, where you sign your name. Petition.
A poll. A petition.
Yeah. It was a fucking petition started by the fucking Troy Baker guy. What the fuck?
Me thinks that the amount of rabid Halo fans vastly outweighs that the amount of rabid Uncharted fans.
Maybe.
That's just an educated opinion.
Maybe.
Halo has one of the most rabid fan bases in the history of gaming.
Well, I'm just going with pure numbers. The PS has always outsold the Xbox. Which means there are technically more Uncharted players.
No, that's assuming that all PS players play Uncharted.
I'm not assuming all. I think it's...
No, that would be assuming that.
I'm saying it's an educated guess, right? If there are more PlayStation players, these guys have access to Uncharted. Higher chances of a lot of them playing Uncharted compared to Halo.
Higher chance, yes. But
yes,
I think
if you're just going with the numbers, I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can remember, I've met tons of... Halo fanboys are the worst. I've talked to some...
Maybe it's because it's also a PvP game. It's a first-person shooter.
Maybe.
And
that actually probably is why, yeah. But Halo fans are some of the most outspoken. And I never liked Halo, personally. Actually, I really, really dislike Halo for what it stands for, most of all. But I think the point I was just trying to make is that exclusives...
What were we even talking about?
Exclusives have always obviously played a part in the choice between...
What were we talking about? We were talking about the NX, right?
Yeah.
The NX. How do we
Poor NX, poor Nintendo. Even when
because we were saying how
even
the consoles...
the news story about NX, we talk about PlayStation and shit.
We were talking about how the PlayStation and Xbox
let me just go on with the rumors and the stuff that they are starting to confirm, whatever.
Okay.
So on the move, the NX will function as a high-powered handheld console with its own display. The screen is bookended by two controller sections on either side, which can be attached or detached as required. The one thing I've always hated about Nintendo stuff is the extra peripherals that they sell. How much money am I supposed to spend? What?
Didn't the NES have two controllers on the side?
Two controllers on the side? No,
the two little controllers on the side.
So imagine a screen.
Yeah.
And the controllers attached to the screen, and then you can detach them.
Oh, I don't like.
So imagine the Wii U phablet controller, but being able to detach the controls on the side of it.
I don't like
something
that.
like that.
Looks
sounds weird. So many moving parts. Will shit get broken easily?
Yes, of course it will. It's a handheld gaming system. It's highly complicated. Yes.
Why I don't know. Hopefully it's just bullshit though.
Here's my question.
I'm really hoping it's just bullshit.
How much is it gonna cost? And who's gonna actually pull out a fucking NX in the middle of fucking public before it gets stolen?
Exactly. I'm gonna guess it's not
How
very
portable
small.
is it?
I don't.
My question,
it can't be any bigger than a Wii U tablet, because if it's bigger than that,
if it's still the same size, it's a pretty big thing to lug around. Still.
No, well, the Wii U tablet's no bigger than any other regular tablet.
No, but people don't walk around with tablets out.
No,
It's quite
don't.
fat though. It's quite
it's
fat.
got some bulk to it. Yeah.
Like, no one walks around with a tablet out, unless you're a complete twat.
So say that again. Nobody walks around with what?
No one walks around walking on the street with a tablet. No one does that.
It's quite a lot.
Like
Seriously?
I've never ever
I see
seen
it all the
anyone.
time over here. There was one time
Really?
he was holding the freaking iPad like it was a fucking tray, like a
Pizza?
waiter, doing like this. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing?
If you hit somebody, are you gonna...
What's the word? Is it Asia?
I don't know.
Only in Asia would that happen. Like, I've never ever.
Nah, I've never seen.
I've never seen any. The only time I've ever seen someone use a tablet in public is when they sat down immobile. I've never seen anyone walk around with a tablet.
Not walking around now.
I've seen people walk around with DSs. I've seen that.
It's probably not the wisest thing to do, though.
Well, the
Probably
DS is
not,
very
no.
easy to keep with its folding mechanic.
Doesn't Japan have a cell phone lane now on the pavement?
A what?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I saw this picture. It's called a cell phone lane. It's so people on their cell phone can walk down this part of the sidewalk or the pavement.
I have no idea.
Without walking into things and into people. So you'll have two lanes. People can only walk that way on that bit, and people can only walk that way on that bit. So people could just walk with the phones out without the fear of
It's China.
walking into each other. China. There we go.
2 years ago, Chinese city opens phone lane for texting pedestrian.
That's quite a cool idea. The amount of people I've seen
The
walking
phone
to
lane seems to be almost a direct copy of one that was painted onto 18th Street, Washington, D.C. So it seems Washington also has a phone lane.
That's weird.
Anyways, the next thing is when you get home, the system can connect to your TV for gaming on the big screen. A base.
Do you mean like the Wii U?
Yeah, a base unit or dock station. But the Wii U is you need to be in close proximities to the
Don't be
actual
surprised that Nintendo's reusing some of its old technology. If you know,
I'm not. I'm really not.
The Wii? Did you know the Wii was just the fucking GameCube overclocked?
Yeah.
What
I'm
do you
really
think they
not
did?
surprised.
What do you think they did with all those extra GameCubes they never sold? Oh fuck! What are we gonna do with this, you guys? Oh, let's make a new console out of it. So what do you think they're doing with the old Wii U's? It was probably the same tech, but with newer chipsets.
I was excited. I thought the NX was going to be a brand new console.
These are just
I
rumors.
honestly thought that.
These are just
These are
rumors.
rumors, though.
Oh, come on. This will be what it is. No one talks about this in this much depth without some
Truth to it.
truth
I will
to
say
it.
this, though. If it is true, the only reason why I can see Nintendo doing this is because they notice that the mobile market is where it's at. Meaning,
No, but they already
gaming on
have
the go.
that.
I
They
know,
already
but
have
they can
that.
still make more money if they can keep doing it with other stuff.
What
right?
they what we're lacking in is a console, because I don't care what people say. The PS4 and Xbox aren't
Yeah, but
consoles; they're
remember,
glorified PCs.
Remember, Nintendo's not in combat with Microsoft or Sony, and they're watching
No,
those
but
two
they-
fucking tread water right now.
That's the
you
thing,
think
but
you
they
want to
have
make
the-
a console just to sit at home? That's
No,
my
no,
point.
I don't think that. I think that they have a chance to capitalize on what the PS4 and the Xbox One have neglected, and that's local multiplayer, which is what Nintendo have always been good at.
Halo 5 doesn't have local multiplayer, right?
No,
I don't know if it does.
It
Even,
doesn't
but
have-
even if it does,
it doesn't
even,
have-
Even if it, oh, that's fine. But even if it didn't, no one would play it. People play Halo to play online.
A lot of
It's
people
as
are
simple as
complaining
that.
about that though. This not having split because it's a Halo
that-
thing. It's been there
I think
for
that'd be the
until
vast
Halo 4.
minority, though.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
to-
maybe.
to do LAN
I'd-
parties and shit.
The only
And-
time I ever played Halo was with friends. 'Cause
Anyways,
I hated it.
there's a base unit, a dock station to connect the brain of the NX, which is inside the controller, so that you can shoot the display onto the TV. The NX, this is the worst part. Worst part. The NX will use game cartridges as its choice of physical media. Multiple sources have also told.
It's pretty much.
I'm okay.
I'm
okay with that.
Because
I'm
if
fine
it's
with that too.
handheld, then it'll be... Oh, it's bad because there won't be backward compatibility.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which is a huge thing. Nintendo have always done it.
They've always done it, but you know what? I think that even Nintendo's like, fuck, we don't want the Wii U touching this thing, so...
Fuck.
I mean, let's be... And besides, they already said they were going to port some of the Wii U games onto
Means
the
you have to
NX.
buy it again. This is
Yeah.
what the PlayStation and Xbox have been doing, and people hate that. And the
You know
Nintendo
what
have
people
not
have
been
been saying,
doing
though,
it.
don't you? You know what
Some
people have
people
been
like
saying,
it.
though, don't you? Nintendo, people have been saying that Nintendo need to get with the times, and it turns out that they might be.
That's... Yeah. And sadly,
Backwards
that's one of the
compatibility
things.
has always been a good thing for Nintendo.
Listen,
I don't
I
think,
think it's fair for Nintendo to re-release some of the Wii U games, considering how probably no one ever fucking touched a Wii U. So there are some classics on the Wii U that should be actually touched again and played.
Well, they said something like I'm not sure if it's gonna be a upgraded version of the game or anything like that.
Well, they said that there might be slight differences. Like, I heard rumor that Splatoon was supposed to get a port, and possibly even Smash Brothers. But they
Those
said
are
with the
smart
Smash
launch
Brothers
titles.
one, which they said if they re-release the Smash Brothers, that they're just gonna add all the DLC together and whatever, and just sell it as a game of the year or whatever, collector edition, whatever fucking edition you want to call it. But like I said, the Wii U did shit. No one played it. No one touched it really. And now they're gonna really re-release some games on the NX. And besides, it's not a bad idea either. It just gives more selection to play on the NX when it releases too, right?
Let's be real. The Wii U flopping wasn't entirely the Wii U's fault.
No, it was bad marketing.
Not just that, it was the fact that no one was developing for it. It has about 20 games total, which is... And obviously I'm being facetious, but it had terrible third-party support. No one was
Yeah, because
developing for the thing.
no one knew how to fucking program on the thing except for Nintendo.
How do you program for something that is like lacking in power compared to your other version of the game?
And then trying to port it, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
No, but it's not just that. I mean, if we're being real, Nintendo have never been good at third-party relations. Never.
They used to be.
No, did they though? No.
When they were leaders in the market, they were.
GameCube was around the time they were getting some reach around. But even then, it wasn't great. It wasn't PS2 level. PS2, octupled the amount of games that the GameCube had.
Maybe
it just had a great
maybe they just
third-party
focus
support.
on exclusives. Like if you wanna make for my console, you make an exclusive game.
Yeah, I mean,
might be their
but
motto.
people, it speaks to something else as well. People, if you ask the majority of people our age or around our age, right, what the best console is, what are 95% of people going to say?
I think they'll say PS4.
I say PC.
I hope that's a joke.
You said console, right?
Well,
PC is
yeah.
not a console.
No, I hope you're joking with PS4.
It's the one that's selling the most.
No, what if you ask anyone what was the best console ever?
Ever. Obviously the PS2.
Yeah. That's all. I thought you scared me then. Yeah.
If it's
PS2,
now, then
yeah,
it's the
sure.
PS4.
No.
Ever PS2,
So,
definitely.
yeah. But people don't remember how much shit was on the PS2. The only reason the PS2 is remembered so fondly is because it had about 9 million games on it.
So
About
many.
PS2 was
30
like the Wii of that generation.
Yeah,
when it came to games.
about you can obviously guarantee that about 30 to 40% of the games are guaranteed to be shit.
And it's
The
such
only
an
reason
ugly
that-
looking piece of shit as well.
Yeah.
I have the first
only
version
reason-
of it.
The only reason the PS2 was remembered so fondly is because it had so many games. The
Yeah,
Wii
it
U
did.
doesn't have that luxury. The Wii U has to make do with the games that they have, and unfortunately, they haven't been great. They've been okay. They've been fine, which isn't good. Fine's not good.
No.
Because people do that all the time. Oh, PS2 was so good. All the games were so. No, they weren't. There was a
Not
lot
all
of
the
shit on
There's a
PS2.
lot of garbage on PS2.
A lot of garbage. It was
There was so
the
much
console equivalent of
The Wii.
whatware, freeware, shareware,
shovelware.
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 I was like,
If you
crapware.
lined up every PS2 game in a row,
You'd
close
see
your
a
eyes
lot
and
of
pick
shit.
close your eyes and pick 10 at random. I can guarantee about 5 of them are going to be shit.
Did you know
Probably.
if you line up in a tower, it can reach the moon and back?
PS2?
I'm just joking.
I was
That would
gonna
be
say,
pretty
unless
impressive
true.
if that was true. That'd
But
be
there's a lot of
fucking
shit
awesome.
on that console.
There
But a
is.
lot of good shit to counter that bad
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, no. I'm not trying to say it isn't.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
definitely my favorite
I
console of
love
all
the
time,
PS2.
for sure.
I agree. It's my favorite console. It's the best one out there.
And
but
I've
I'm
been
just
watching a few
saying.
like hidden gems videos. I was like, holy shit, I never heard of this game. And I played
Yeah,
a
there was
lot
a
of
lot of
PS2
hidden-
games.
Yeah.
So yeah, the NX. The Nintendo recommends a 32GB cartridge, which is pretty fucking small, I guess.
What does the NX mean?
No one knows yet.
I don't know. Nintendo Next? I don't know. There are no plans for backwards compatibility, like I've said. The system will harness NVIDIA's powerful mobile processor Tegra.
Oh, Tegra, really?
Yes.
Oh,
They've always been using
Tegra's-
AMD for the last couple of consoles. Now they're using
They have.
Tegra.
Nintendo is a
Tegra.
huge supporter of ATI or Radeon or
AMD.
AMD now.
Yeah.
Tegra's it uses ARM architecture, doesn't it?
Tegra is the one in the Shield, isn't it?
Yeah,
so.
it uses ARM, doesn't it?
I have no idea.
It's quite.
There was something interesting
nice.
about when the Tegra came out. There was something really interesting about it. And I can't remember what it was. Oh fuck!
So the
It
NX
was.
has moved up a gear. The planning has moved up the gear because Nintendo is planning to unveil it in September. So yes, that is all.
Well, they might as well, because if all these rumors are true, there's no sense of fucking hiding it anymore. Just show
Yeah.
the fucking thing for Pete's sake.
Yeah, I'm sorry. People might like to say, "Oh, these are only rumors," but that extensive of an article, there's no way that ain't true.
The Wii U is 1080p, right?
Yes, it can do 1080p. Yes.
Is 1080p? Is it 60 frames? Is it 60?
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of the games are 60
yes.
I
frames per
really
second.
hope that it's backwards compatible. Then I can buy some second-hand Wii U games and save some money that way. Because we all know if they're gonna re-release the Wii U games, it's not gonna be $50 or $40. It's gonna be 60
Well,
for sure.
maybe. Maybe if they do re-release them, maybe they'll only be digital downloads, and
Yeah.
they'll be at a
Yeah,
cheaper
yeah.
price. So there's always that
Oh.
possibility. It
What?
could
Cheaper
be.
price? What?
It could be a cheaper price.
Nintendo cheap? What? Maybe. Hopefully.
Could always hope.
I don't think so, but hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, Nintendo NX is a 3DS killer, basically. Thanks, Nintendo.
That doesn't.
It's gonna.
I don't.
3DS. will
I
be
mean,
like
I
the new
might,
Game
I
Boy
might be
Advance.
the odd one out, but I honestly don't give a fuck if the 3DS dies. So
What? You don't own one, so we both
I
own
hate
one.
handheld gaming. I absolutely hate handheld gaming.
Only reason I
like
buy
it.
is because of the exclusives. I don't buy it because it's some super powerful thing.
No,
And
I
no,
just
exactly.
hate. Handheld gaming is just so uncomfortable.
I don't
to
actually
me.
play it outside.
No,
I only play in my room.
traveling.
Yeah. I literally
and
just
travel.
and traveling. I literally just buy it for the exclusives. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is all for the news.